Hey everyone, it's Michael. Today I'm going to be talking about another Goosebumps book. This is my first Goosebumps Series 2000 book, but I have seen the episode adaptation from the old Goosebumps TV show of this one 1,000 times. This is Goosebumps Series 2000, Bride of the Living Dummy. This is number 2 in the franchise. Yeah, I got the original cover too, by the way. I loved the episode of this show that I also happen to have right here on VHS tape from Hollywood Video when they went out of business and started selling all their VHS tapes about a year before they went out of business, as a matter of fact. I bought this because I rented it so many times, you have no idea. Love this episode. If you haven't seen this, really fun. Not as good as Night of the Living Dummy 3, book or movie, in either case of the situation of the formats, but this is really good. The episode's good too. The episode is relatively a decent adaptation in my opinion. However, it's kind of the same situation I talked about in my Night of the Living Dummy 3 book review. The episode is almost completely drastically different to the book. So you have some surprises if you haven't read the book before, or vice versa if you haven't seen the episode before. Essentially, the bare premise of this story is that you have our main girl, who is the older sister of 3 girls. She has 2 twin sisters, or 2 younger sisters that are twins, who are 6 years old, Katie and Amanda, and they carry around this gigantic, really ugly doll named Mary Ellen. And Mary Ellen, supposedly feels this and feels that, like, they'll say that you hurt Mary Ellen's feelings, like if you said something mean about Mary Ellen while you're in the room. But our main character actually is annoyed because these two keep basically replacing her with Mary Ellen. Like if they go to the movie theaters to see a movie, these kids are going to bring that and talk to it the entire time rather than their own older sister who paid for them all to get in there. Our main character also has a best friend named Harrison who lives right around the corner basically. Harrison's cool. I liked him. I like our main character. I like all of our characters. It's kind of the same old recycled Goosebumps characters over and over again, like always. But they're likable, they're enjoyable. The 2 younger sisters, the 2 young twin sisters, are absolutely evil from the beginning of the book onward. But essentially, even though they're mean kids, our main character decided that she would, she recently promised them this and actually forgot about it, but now she's talking to them again because the mom reminds them that she was going to take the 2 young twin sisters out to see a ventriloquist who was coming to this small, theater type thing. This ventriloquist's name is Jimmy O. James, and he actually has a dummy named Slappy. And they're kind of not really famous. Not really, sort of, kind of, but not really. Maybe locally, that's about it. Jimmy O. James has a really rough performance with Slappy up on the stage in front of the kids. It actually becomes more of an insult type thing back and forth. And then after a little while, the main character, after she meets Jimmy O. James, that same day when she's trying to find her 2 twin sisters that went, or 2 younger twin sisters who went missing, she actually runs into Jimmy O. James, talks to him for a little bit and stuff. She actually saw where he and Slappy, the dummy, were arguing. So now we wonder, okay, is Slappy actually alive, like how he was in the previous 3 books? How is that going around? So you kind of have the typical Goosebumps thing. It doesn't really tie into the previous books, but it also sort of does, in a weird way, But our main character is cool, whatever. The best friend, Harrison, happens to find a dummy out in the back parking lot, or not back parking lot, but like a back alleyway type thing. It turns out it's Slappy, and he wants to have it repaired, because Slappy will bite things and not let them go. Now, of course, it's the same old type premise at this point, from this point onward. You get a dummy into the house, it starts acting weird, other things start happening weird around the house, you don't know if it's your siblings, you don't know if it's your parents pranking you, you don't know. That's kind of the same situation here with Bride of the Living Dummy, of course with the title being Bride of the Living Dummy, which is a play on Bride of Frankenstein. So you have this idea that, is Mary Ellen going to get brought to life? Is Slappy alive at all? You don't really know what's going to happen here. And the twin sisters, the younger twin sisters, are already so mean. Just cruel kids. Just flat out mean kids. You don't know if maybe they're behind all of this too. So you have kind of, to me, a little bit of a better mystery than you had in the first 2 Goosebumps books for Night of the Living Dummy. 1 and 2, whatever you want to call them. Now, I recently read Night of the Living Dummy 3 for the first time, as far as I know, the first time of my life, and I will say I think that book is much better than this book. Just barely, just because of execution and the way Night of the Living Dummy 3 is told. This itself is a good book. I actually think I like this more than the first two from Night of the Living Dummy as a series, from the old classical series. Again, this is my first Series 2000 book, and it feels like regular classical 62 book Goosebumps, so not really a whole big of a change. You don't have too much to adjust to or anything. You do have some new font lettering and stuff when you get into a new chapter, like if you have the number 5, it'll be this really wacky looking type of 5 in the font setting. I'm talking about font setting while I talk about a Goosebumps book. Anyway, the book was okay. I liked it. It was above average for sure. I do think I like it a little bit more than Night of the Living Dummy 1 and 2, like I said. There's not a whole lot to really say about it. A lot of cool stuff that I didn't know was going to happen in this because I grew up on the episode. I didn't know about this book even existing. I thought it was just an episode they just made for the TV show and that was it. But I'm really glad I got a copy of this at some point. I love this cover with Slappy and Mary Ellen on it. This was kind of a crazy book. I will say this. The finale is disgusting. It's genuinely disgusting. Probably one of the most... It's a callback to an earlier Slappy book, but it's also way more horrific. Way more horrific in this book than it was in that previous book. I won't tell you which one it is, but the finale of this book's pretty wild, honestly. It really is. Yeah, Bride of the Living Dummy. What did you guys think about it? Put your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. Did you love this one? Did you hate this one? Is it your favorite? I don't know. What about the Slappy series? What do you think about that? Is this your favorite of the Slappy series? I'd love to know down in the comment section down below, folks. When it comes to Goosebumps Series 2000, Bride of the Living Dummy by R.L. Stine, who always seems to be creative and fun, no matter what I'm reading from him when it comes to the Goosebumps series, I would say, on a 5-star basis for rating it, I would give this a 4 out of 5. It's kind of a high 4 out of 5. Like I said, it's not as good as Night of the Living Dummy 3. I think Night of the Living Dummy 3 is absolutely the best that I've read so far from this series. Not Goosebumps, but the Slappy books itself. This one's just barely under that for me, if I had to rank them. But this is good. What did you guys think about it? I'd love to hear what you have to say. Thank you guys for watching. May the Lord Jesus Christ bless you guys today, and goodbye.